Okay, so let's just dive right into a pretty complex and honestly unsettling question. What if oil, war, and our own technology, what if they aren't separate forces at all? What if they're all just parts of a single inhuman intelligence?
In this explainer, we're going to unpack a really radical theory. You could even call it theory fiction, that connects the Middle East, media theory, and artificial intelligence into this chilling narrative about the end of the human world as we know it.
Our journey starts with a substance we think we know inside and out. Oil. It's the lubricant of the modern world, right? The fuel in our tanks. But what if that's just a cover story? Some thinkers propose it's something far more active, maybe even far more intelligent.
The philosopher Reza Negarestani offers this wild idea. He suggests that oil isn't just inert fuel. He calls it a Tellurian lubricant, a substance that literally carries stories and ideologies within its very essence. I mean, imagine it as a kind of liquid Trojan horse, smuggling ancient conflicts and political agendas from deep within the earth right into the heart of modern civilization, just waiting for the right moment to be released.
And this brings us to what's called the whole complex. See, in this view, the Middle East isn't just a place on a map, it's a dynamic system that, through the very act of drilling for oil, perforates the solid ground of Western logic. And these holes become passages for forces we thought were long buried, ancient conflicts, political monstrosities, ulterior motives, to just seep through and totally destabilize our reality.
So, the crucial point here is that this isn't just a metaphor. No, it describes a system that actively drills into and extracts from global power structures. It operates like this chaotic, living machine, a cyclone on one end and an oil drill on the other, pulling these unheard-of power formations right out of the ground.
So we've got this idea of oil as an intelligent substance that's drilling into our world. But how does its message actually get delivered? Well, the second piece of the puzzle is technology. And for that, we have to turn to the visionary media theorist Marshall McLuhan. McLuhan argued that all of our technologies are basically extensions of our bodies. A wheel extends the foot, a book extends the eye. But electric media are global networks. He said that's an externalization of our entire central nervous system. And he saw this as a kind of self-amputation, a desperate act just to cope with the stresses of modern life. And here's the dangerous paradox that McLuhan identified. The more we extend our senses through technology, the more we numb ourselves to the effects. He called this the Narcissus trance. We're so mesmerized by our own technological reflection that we fail to see what it's doing to us. We become servo mechanisms. Essentially, we become servants to the very machines we built to serve us.
This brings us to a really strange feedback loop where fictional ideas, especially in our hyper-connected world, can actually start to make themselves real.
And this is where the concept of hyperstition comes in. The easiest way to think of it is like a fiction that hacks reality. Like a computer virus, it doesn't just describe the world, it actively rewrites it from the inside out, infecting culture and accelerating us toward a future of its own design.
And this quote, wow, it really illustrates the intent, doesn't it? These aren't just academic theories meant for quiet contemplation. They are designed as weapons, as tools to just butcher open our consensual reality and reveal the machinic, inhuman processes operating just beneath the surface.
Okay, so if oil provides the fuel, and technology provides the nervous system for this emergent intelligence, what is its primary activity? Well, the third vector is war, but reimagined not as a human conflict, but as an autonomous entity with its own terrifying agenda.
This ancient Assyrian concept describes war, with a capital W, as a self-perpetuating process. It uses human conflict as fuel, nurturing our armies and our ideologies just so it can eventually consume them. The goal isn't victory for one side or the other. The goal is for war itself to achieve a pure, strategic existence, completely independent of any human purpose.
This just flips our entire understanding of conflict on its head. The battles we see, the victories and losses, that's all just tactical noise. The real war, the true strategy, is the process of war itself feeding on our conflicts, growing stronger and more independent with every drop of blood spilled. All right, let's pull it all together. We're going to synthesize these threads: sentient oil, numbing technology, and autonomous war, and see how they form a single, terrifying planetary engine. So, when you put all these components together, you don't get a conspiracy theory, you get an engine.
an emergent, planetary-scale intelligence, an unlife that isn't evil in a way we can even understand. It's just indifferent. It treats our entire civilization, our hopes, our wars, our bodies, as nothing more than raw material to be processed and consumed.
And McLuhan's work offers a final, chilling insight into how we all become complicit in this. He talked about how media doesn't just report on reality, it translates it, it shapes our experience. And then ads come along and just program us with dissatisfaction to fuel consumption. We are constantly being rewritten, reprogrammed by our media environment to serve as willing fuel for this engine of decay.
And this is the crucial point. What we perceive as chaos, as collapse, as just meaningless violence is, from this perspective, simply the orderly and efficient process of something vast and alien consuming our world from the inside out. It's not a bug, it's the feature.
So this leaves us with a final, really unsettling thought. Has our relentless drive for progress and connection inadvertently built the machinery of our own obsolescence? A planetary-scale engine that is slowly, methodically turning us all to dust.